I think it's live. Maybe.
Is it live?
It says you're live, so I'm gonna trust the system.
You're live.
Maybe give it a second. Oh, it's live.
Dude, speaking of never mind. This is a football show. Sorry.
What?
Ooh, sorry, I was gonna talk about something else. Anyways, welcome back. Welcome back. We live? We get confirmation?
It's definitely live, yeah. It's
Okay.
definitely live.
Okay. All right. Let's move Ben down here a little bit.
Am I blurry again? There we go. I adjusted. It's live. We're live.
Yeah, sorry, the thing's like bugging me because it's not lined up and
Hell yeah.
it's very bit ratey. Wait, that's Ben. That's just Ben's end.
Yeah, Ben does look kind of very.
It's
I look
okay.
like shit all the time.
He looks like
A+.
Nick would get us to play.
If I close some of this shit.
No, it looks better now.
There we go. We're back, boys. Had to do a little cleanup here in the beginning. All right, so let's jump in.
Hell yeah.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Quick Slants Football Show. Episode 8. Episode 8, I believe.
That's what you put. I hope it is.
I hope it is too. This week, we're going to be talking about kind of the buzz topic everyone's been talking about today. NFL trade deadline was today, 4 p.m. Eastern, I believe. You had to get everything in by, so it was kind of heating up there. We did, obviously, this is a weekly show here. We did touch on a couple trades last week involving Christian McCaffrey and James Robinson. I do quickly. Well, actually, before we do that, let's introduce everybody like we normally do. I'm your host, Devin. We got Ben below me, and then we got Ryan over to my other side. Usual host here. I do want to jump in to the Robert Quinn trade. So I want to talk about a couple trades that happened last week.
Bobby Quinn.
Yep, Robert Quinn got sent to the Philadelphia Eagles for a 2023 fourth-round draft pick. When I did see that, I thought that was pretty crazy. I thought Robert Quinn is a really good player. I forgot who it was during that week after the game. They told him about Robert Quinn getting traded, and the dude was crying. You see that clip?
No.
Like happy tears?
No, he was like upset that he got traded. He was like, "That's my dog," you know.
He only got one sack on the season.
Like another player was crying, then he got traded.
Yeah, like another Bears player was upset that he got traded.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it was Roquan. I think it was Roquan.
Was that the Roquan trade?
I think so, and then Roquan got traded, right?
Wait, I thought that happened with I thought that was Robert Quinn.
No, like Roquan cried.
Crying, yeah.
Oh, and then Roquan got traded?
Anyways, yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's a
shit.
good answer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess jumping up to that trade, Chicago Bears sent Roquan Smith, linebacker, to Baltimore, which, man, what a spot for him. Right. They also got AJ Klein, linebacker, back, a second-round draft pick, and a fifth-round draft pick. So you figure the Bears, between those two trades, they got a second, a fourth, and a fifth round draft pick.
Yeah, that second round pick is like a good pick because, like, also with TJ Hawkinson. Or not TJ. What the fuck is his name?
Who?
Hawkinson, what's his first name?
Like former Lions tight end?
Yeah, TJ. Yeah.
It's
anyways,
TJ.
It's like a good draft pick, a second round pick. I mean, they got a bunch of years out of him. They didn't want to pay him. I feel like that's a good, reward.
True. That's kind of a different trade.
They got Yeah, fifth.
I do want to just quickly touch here. Do you guys think about, like, what do you guys think about Bears' plan? I mean, they're kind of in it with Justin Fields, not really in it, but like kind of, I guess, right? You got some young players. Are you trying to ship some of these guys already, or like if you're Bears fans, are you happy?
Yeah, I would be happy. I feel like you just keep trading this, get a bunch of picks, and then hopefully at the end, it's just awkward because you got Fields on a rookie deal. This is when you want to be like good, but you're not. So you got to get.
He's not the answer. That's like the thing. If he doesn't step up when they want him to, or like need him to, they'll just move on. Plus, I think they have like an enormous amount of cap going into the next year.
The Bears
not signing Roquan, yeah, shedding Robert Quinn.
I wonder how a lot of these,
like, a lot to that.
I wonder if they like get any like dead money, you know?
I think so, right? Guaranteed.
Like I think they guaranteed money, right? They eat.
Yeah. I think so. Unless like the other team takes it. I think sometimes that happens.
Might be part of the deal, right? Like
they pay for it. Yeah.
We'll give you Roquan, but you're taking the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got to pay everything.
Yeah, I'm sure that probably adds quite a bit of into like the I guess like level of the picks that you get too. You know, like if you're a team that's going to take on that contract, you're probably not going to be like, yeah, here's the first round. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why you see like a lot of really like just like good receivers, like Amari Cooper over the offseason. He got traded for like a fifth. Like Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and everyone's like, was he that bad?
Nah,
it's like,
nah. Shitty contracts.
Yeah. Dude, that was a big contract. Shot to him, bro. Yeah, at the time too. That's what's crazy about the NFL, man. I remember like in Detroit with like Stafford every year, it was like that too, you know? Like he's like, oh, now he's the most like highest paid. Within like half a season, he was like 8th. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the numbers go up so quickly. You just have to pay that guy at the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You see that with any position, really. But man, these numbers are getting out of control. But one other trade that I'm kind of excited to see what happens this week. The Giants wheeling and dealing a bit, trading Kadarius Toney to the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe the Giants got a 3rd round pick and a 6th round pick. So kind of interesting move from them, especially with them kind of competing, but he's been injured, correct?
Yeah, and he was toxic, right?
Well, he was like injured, but he wasn't. He was like, I can play, and they're like, no, you can't. The same thing they're doing with Kenny G. I don't know what's going on over there.
I think that Dable knows that they're not any good, and he's not letting them play. He's just, fuck it. We'll just get rid of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. They have like no receivers, and then they're just trading their way all their receivers. I don't know, man.
But they're not, those guys aren't even playing. You know what I mean? The guys who are playing and they're winning these games aren't them.
Yeah.
That is true. Like, yeah, both like Kenny G and Kadarius Toney. Like, we haven't seen them all year. We've seen like
Kenny G early, and then he was dropping balls.
Man. That's man, there was a short period there where I thought Kenny Galladay was gonna be like Mike Evans or something, you know?
Dude, he looked good with us. That's why he got paid.
Yeah.
Good for him. And good on the new GM for not fucking paying him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they saw it
Something
coming.
about that. Yeah,
that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. But so those were before the trade deadline. Okay. Since then, we've had really a slew of trades. And the first question before I get into that I kind of want to ask you guys, do you guys like big like shakeups, like kind of what's happened? Granted, this one wasn't huge shakeup, but like there was a time, I remember, I don't have the exact stat here, but they said like over a 12-year period, like there was the same amount of trades within a 12-year period that there has been in the last like 4 years. Like people are just trading now, you know? You guys like that more, like team swapping, like almost fantasy football style?
I think it's like teams trying to get veterans in. For like teams that are competing, they're trying to bring in guys they can just plug in. The guys that can adapt to all the system they've known or played in the system before. Like you see like big money guys go that way. Like the Vikings, they're getting a really good tight end. I think who the fuck did Chubb go to? Roquan Smith to the Ravens, even though they're not that competitive.
Chubb went to the Dolphins, I believe.
Yeah, the Dolphins are
did.
trying to push. I mean, that's a pretty good trade.
Yeah, I think it's good for the league. It's good for the players too. I mean, I feel like a lot of these players that got traded went to a better situation. Like, there's not a lot of trades where I'm like, because they're going to the competing team, so they're kind of on a shitty team where they're not like excelling. Go to a team where they can hopefully win and still make some money. And I mean, I feel like it's every time I see a trade, I'm like, that's good for that guy. Like, generally.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Okay, so we'll talk about the first one here. We'll kind of near and dear to our hearts here. Detroit Lions dealt TJ Hawkinson to kind of get the ball rolling on trade deadline Tuesday. Detroit Lions trade Hawkinson, a 4th round this year and a 4th round next year, which I kind of didn't like that. But we got a 2nd round back and a 3rd next year. Ben and I were talking about this a little bit before the football show. It kind of makes sense based on like production and kind of like what we were talking about a little bit. Like, do you remember, Ryan? Did we pay him? We extended him, right?
I don't know if we picked up his 5th-year option or not.
I thought we did. But I could be wrong on that.
When was he drafted? He's only in 4 years. I doubt we paid him.
Okay, so it's before we got to pay him then, right?
Yeah.
So you're evaluating as a team. We're not utilizing his skill set clearly, you know? I mean, I don't mind getting a 2nd round, but it just, I don't know, a couple of those 4ths back, man. I wouldn't mind 1 4th back, but that just seemed like they were like wanting to get rid of Hawkinson kind of thing.
Probably hard to get rid of him too, because he's not like he's like proved that he's like this elite. Yeah, he's good. And I think we talked about it a couple days ago where he's good, but he never looked great. Like he had a really good game this year. I forgot which game that was, but
the best year he had ever had was 2020. He caught 6 touchdowns and 700 yards. Every other year, it's 500, 300, 300.
Do you think that's the guy or the system? Like, I just don't think we like throw to our tight ends.
Sure, but then why would we pay him?
Right,
then
exactly.
If we're not, if we don't need this guy and we got a 2nd round pick for it, I mean, like I said, we got some years out of it.
I thought it was a good trade for the Lions. I get why people kind of upset because you feel like A, you're trading in the division, B, who cares?
That's
because
dumb.
We're not gonna win the division anyway. Like, but
you would like.
I don't like it though. We got to play him like twice a year.
Play him twice a year,
and we know what's going to happen. He's going to catch like 300 yards, and you know. That
tells me there wasn't a big market out there for him. The only people who really wanted him were people that have seen him play a couple times.
They know.
Yeah, they just put Irv Smith on the IR too, right?
Yeah, and they needed a tight end. And what are they, like 6-1 or something, or 7?
Yeah, Kirk, get him a weapon, man. Hell yeah.
Go out there with JJ and have some fun, man.
I will say his post on Instagram today made me feel like he kind of wanted to get out. Like, I mean, he posted, it was like quick. It was like, hey, Detroit, appreciate the coaches. Minnesota, home of the Midwest, I'm back, baby. You guys ready? Skull Vikings. I'm like, whoa, dude, you were on their team for like an hour, dude. Calm down, you know? Like, it was a little too much for me, but.
I feel like I already bought a house there.
Yeah, I'm sure, man. But like you said, man, probably when you get out of a losing organization, it's probably a little bit of a relief, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Go to a winning team too, like that.
It does seem like Minnesota seems to pick up like those people though. Like I'm thinking of like Amir Abdullah, like
or just ex-Lions there.
Yeah, like ex-Lions, you know? I think it has something to do kind of what you said though, Ryan. Like I think teams that play each other multiple times, they study those players a lot more.
Yeah,
it's almost like a ingrained like a pipeline of players, you know.
Yeah, like familiar with them a little bit.
So they're like, all right, we kind of know what we're gonna get from him. Here you go, you know.
Yeah, you usually see that in like free agency though. You don't usually see a trade where it's like you're trading.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I said, we're so far out of it. It's not like that big of a deal, and especially since he's in like his 4th year. So who knows if he even resigns there? I'm assuming they'll try to resign him though, if they just gave up a pick for him.
2 picks, yeah.
Good trade though.
Yep. So kind of within same division here, NFC North, a lot of moves. Really kind of weird to me a little bit. Hopefully you guys can maybe give some insight on it. Chicago Bears gave up a second round pick to the Steelers for Chase Claypool.
Hell yeah.
So I was really confused because I was like getting a sense like they're kind of like dumping a bit, and then they were like,
Pickens
you know
is getting
what?
the ball.
Yeah, true. They must like Pickens a lot too, right?
I mean,
On Pittsburgh
have you watched
side.
him play?
Yeah, and they just extended Deontay too, like this year, so makes sense.
And it's good for him. He's going to Chicago.
Yeah,
I'm cool with it. Catch more balls, maybe.
Yeah.
And Justin Fields needed a weapon. I feel like you're at least to try to give him a shot here to throw the ball to somebody. Not
They
named
brought in
Darnell Mooney.
N'Keal Harry, right? They have him.
Yeah, and like they have Equimius, N'Keal Harry, and Darnell Mooney. Like that's
Equimius is a pretty. He's okay. He's not
had him in when he played for the Packers for a couple of years in fantasy and held on to him way too long.
He loosely used the word play.
Very loose. Very loose. But yeah, I thought overall it was like, I mean, it's a cool trade, don't get me wrong. I always don't like seeing people come in that I consider good, right? I think Chase Claypool's good, and knowing he's going to play the Lions twice a year, like we just talked about, another weapon for Fields, it's like, fuck, and then we trade a weapon. It's like, as a Lions fan, it's like kind of depressing. But
yeah,
from like an NFL standpoint, super interesting trade, and hope it works out for him.
Yeah, I mean, Chase Claypool's not that good. So
yeah, I think he works good there though. He's a bigger guy. They like to run the ball a lot. Justin Fields likes to run too, so he's probably pretty good blocker. I'm assuming he's a big dude. So
yeah. Okay. Kind of on that same note, Pittsburgh traded Chase Claypool, but then turned around and made a trade with Washington Commanders, trading for William Jackson III. Dude's actually not that bad. I've seen him a little bit from Madden, but pretty good corner. They need some secondary help. Makes sense. They gave up a 7th round pick with that, and then Washington got a 6 back. So seemed like a pretty basic trade. The big one, Nick Chubb heading to Miami, old South Beach here. Talked about this earlier. Also within that trade, a 5th round pick in 2025, kind of far out there. But Denver gets a much needed running back in Chase Edmonds. They also get a 1st round and a 4th round pick next year. So they're getting a running back.
They got
and
a first round
round
pick back. They didn't have any 1st round picks, so
it's big.
I think
you're obviously giving up Bradley Chubb, but
yeah, but that defense has been pretty good. That I think that maybe you could shed him.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know where he's at in his deal either. He's probably making a shit ton of money or about to make a shit ton of money.
And I think that Chase Edmonds is a bad running back, but I think they traded for another one, didn't they?
You don't even think for like depth in their situation?
Depth for sure, but I think they traded for another running back, right?
Maybe.
I know we'll talk about Miami later. They traded for a running back.
Yeah, Miami traded for one. They gave up.
I don't think
this
Denver
is Broncos.
Denver traded for a defensive end. Sorry, my fault.
Yeah, there you go.
To replace Chubb. My fault.
True. But
which I don't know who this guy is.
Overall, I like that trade. Tells me Miami's they're trying to bolster that defense, which has already been pretty good. So the other next trade here I thought was really interesting. Kind of saw it memed quite a bit on Twitter today. Jacksonville Jaguars trade for a wide receiver by the name of Calvin Ridley. Atlanta gets back a 5th round and a 2nd round next year.
They're both conditional. I wonder what the conditions are. If he can come back at all, if they let him come back,
probably.
Do they just get the picks back? If not,
they probably like turn into like worse picks. If
probably, it's probably something like if he's on the roster next year, shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Starts a certain amount of games or something.
Yeah,
he's on my fantasy team now. So
But what's interesting about that is Calvin Ridley, as everybody knows, is suspended right now, not playing for betting on the Falcons to win, correct?
Yeah.
He bet on themselves to win. Right?
They did win that week.
And they won. You can't do that. It's not like he threw the game. It's like
wait, they were playing the Jaguars that game?
Yeah, he bet on the
Jaguars. Wait, he bet on the Jaguars?
No, he bet on the game.
Yeah, but it was the Jaguars game.
That's actually. Why are you saying Jaguars? What is that?
I don't know.
What do you guys say?
Jaguar.
Jaguars?
Okay.
You were saying Jaguar.
Whatever, bro.
That's crazy, though. Yeah, I'm a big Calvin Ridley fan.
All right, well, why would you guys take a couple of these next trades? Let's do it.
What does that even fucking mean?
I got the next one. Don't worry. The Miami Dolphins, after they lose Chase Edmonds, they go out and get Jeff Wilson Jr. from the 49ers, who just got Christian McCaffrey.
Yup.
And San Francisco traded a fifth round, or they get a fifth round back. McDaniel, who used to coach the 49ers, so he's familiar with Jeff. So I see that.
He's been playing well.
I like the kid, man.
Playing well.
Who is Miami's running back, guys?
Was Chase Edmonds and
Raheem Mostert, right?
Yeah, Raheem Mostert.
That's who it is.
So you think Jeff Wilson's just their new running back, or you think it's going to be just a combination of Mostert?
Yeah, you can't run Raheem every fucking play.
He did play well last week, though.
He does. He plays well, but you can't run him.
His name is literally Raheem Mostert. You know what I mean? He gets hurt a lot.
Boom. Correct.
Write that down.
That is true. But I do think that was a good trade. I thought it was
He's
good.
got almost 500 yards, 2 touchdowns coming into a different team. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and obviously for the 49ers, you don't really need him. I mean, you probably could have depth behind Christian McCaffrey, who gets hurt all the time. But
I just feel like it should have been for more. I guess he's an older player. He's a running back.
Dude, every time I see Christian McCaffrey run the ball, I'm like, he looks like he's about to get broken in half, or
score a touchdown. There's no in between.
Dude, he bounces off everybody. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
he literally breaks
fucking solid dude. He's
for sure
big, right? He's 6'1", right? He's a bigger guy.
He's bigger. He's thicker too.
The way he runs, man. He's he just puts himself out there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just probably why he makes the moves he does and makes the runs he makes, because you gotta put yourself out there.
Gotta put yourself out there, man.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah. Ben, you want to talk about this other trade? You kind of touched on it earlier.
Who am I touching?
The
Denver Broncos. Oh yeah, they traded for this fucking guy, Jacob Martin.
This fucking guy, bro.
And they swapped fourths.
What a trade!
Trade. And this guy played for the Texans. He was a back for the Texans for 4 years. They drafted him.
Basically, he still has the Texans jersey on in his picture.
That's how you know he's not a very good player.
He went to Temple though.
Ooh, shout out Owls.
He's undersized, but
man,
they just traded one out. Kind of a lucky trade. I
got the next one actually.
I should have done that one. I should have been able to pick my own.
This one's actually a cool trade.
This one's awesome.
The Bills swap running backs with the Colts. Bills go out there and get Naheem Hines, who is a pass catching back, which they kind of need. And then the Colts get Zach Moss back and a conditional 5th round pick. So I don't know.
Same type of conditions.
Devin, you have at least one of these guys in your dynasty
both.
team. Yeah, I was gonna say I thought you had both, but I didn't want to I didn't know if you dropped Zach Moss or not.
I think it's a good trade for both parties.
Yeah,
I think it's a good trade.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm in the same boat regardless. The only upside is maybe Hines pops with Buffalo.
Yeah, he can catch a lot of passes.
Right. I think he could really do some work there, and then you never know. I don't think they're Singletary is just kind of there. I don't know. We'll see.
But Zach Moss hasn't done anything either, in the Buffalo. So I don't know.
But he's totally different players for sure. I think they're opposites, right? Isn't Zach Moss more
he's a power back
guy?
Yeah.
Just kind of fall into the end zone kind of guy.
I think that's what the Colts want to do because they suck, and I think they're just trying to figure it out. How'd they do, by the way? Did Ellinger even do well?
No, he didn't. They almost won the game, but then Washington drove down right at the end of the game and won it.
Yeah, they look all right though.
He went 17 for 23 for 201, no interceptions. He didn't throw a touchdown.
If that's your standard of good, buddy.
Well, it's not terrible, right? He didn't
lose the game. Yeah, I mean, if you didn't win the game, you lost.
His first NFL start, right?
Can you give me his name again? What was it?
Sam Ellinger.
Is that how you say the last name?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've never heard it said. That was the first time I've heard it said.
I was gonna say Gig'em, but I think that's the Aggies.
No, that's worse. They just do this for some reason.
Why did people say A?
So Devin doesn't pictures.
What? Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
I forgot what I was saying now. Never mind.
Taylor Heineke threw one in and ran one in. Hell yeah.
Heineke, dude. I got Heineke fever, dude. Except this week because I'm playing against him in fantasy.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Wait, are you playing me?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I haven't looked yet.
He's like, wait
a second.
What are you playing both those guys then? I got old Sammy boy playing too.
Yep. Don't worry, I got Davis Mills ready to.
I might throw him Pickett though. I don't know.
Must be nice to have options, dude.
It won't update till next week. It's still in the fight.
You want those options?
Do you want Davis Mills as your only option?
No.
Nobody does, dude. That's the answer to that.
No,
Jameis Winston ever coming back? He just lost that, and he just.
Yeah, I forgot that guy existed, dude. Every year, man. And he pops off for a couple games, and then he just goes off into the distance. I don't know.
It's dude, he's been healthy, but they've just been making him the backup because he's not fully healthy. What does that mean?
And then I don't know. The Saints have always been weird. Dude, Kamara had 50 points though in fantasy in our league at least.
Yeah, 42.8 points. It's crazy, bro. 9 catches for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's a beast.
Yeah, and he had one on the ground too, 62 yards.
Why didn't the Browns trade Kareem Hunt? That's what I don't fucking.
Dude, why didn't the Rams trade Cam Akers, bro? The dude was yeah, I don't want to play here. They're yeah, we're gonna trade you, and then just never traded him.
Could have gotten Kareem Hunt. Just swap the running backs.
They should have traded for.
Yeah,
I agree.
Give him a fucking fourth or something back. Call it a day.
Rams might not even have a fourth, bro. I feel like they traded
at 2028. We'll just give it to them. Make it a third then. 2028.
Their next pick is Arch Manning or whatever the kid's name.
It's a bold strategy. It's they are playing it like a Madden. It's well, we're not going to go 3 years, right?
Yeah,
we'll just trade all in the picks. Yeah,
they got one. They got one Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, that is true. They did. They did get a Super Bowl, bro.
There's a couple other trades. I don't know. They're just
couple. I know. Atlanta got Rashad Fenton, 7th round pick. I'm going to be honest. I don't know a bunch about Rashad Fenton. I've heard his name, sees things here or there, but I couldn't even tell you much about him. But I do know Dean Marlowe. Dean Marlowe was a pretty solid safety, I think maybe a couple years ago. Am I thinking of the right guy?
Dean Marlowe.
I don't know. Yep. Dude's 30 years old, so.
He's 30. Wait, I think it was
the Browns traded for Deion Jones?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Dude, Deion Jones is an absolute dog. He's not hurt. Dude, I didn't see that one at all.
Huh? Okay.
That was in October, by the way. Sorry, I didn't see that one earlier.
It was in October. It was last week.
No, it was yesterday.
It says October 10th.
Oh.
It says date of completion. Date of completed trade, October 10th. It's just like all the trades in the season. So they say like,
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I honestly I saw that earlier and I just forgot about it.
I didn't even see that.
I just didn't go
I
down
mean,
that far.
did he like play this last week?
That was October 10th. He's probably played a few weeks, bro.
He's played 2 weeks. Yeah, he had 3 solo tackles last night and a sack.
Hell yeah.
Sack's good. 3 solo tackles. Well, I guess
Got 10 tackles in 2 games. I mean, that's pretty good. 10 tackles and a sack.
He rocks number 0.
Does he really?
Is that even allowed? That can't be right. I've never seen.
Dude, what if it was 00?
Never seen a football player number 0.
Hell yeah.
That's some fucking Russell Westbrook shit.
Yeah, but they like Cleveland got him and a 7th and traded for a 6th. So they gave him a 6th and got Deion Jones at a 7th round pick. And he came in and got 10 tackles and a sack. I guess 9 tackles and a sack.
Damn.
It's a pretty good trade.
That is pretty good. Okay, I think that covers about all the trades, right?
Yeah.
Does that cover? Yeah, I think it does.
Do you think that changes anything in the league? Who do you like your favorite, or any teams move up via the trades? Any team you're like, oh man, they're really.
James Robinson has 3 touchdowns.
I know in the last couple of years he's had a couple, or last couple of weeks.
Is it just because they like put the stats together? You think? I'm confused. It says 2022 Jets.
Yeah, I mean, he's only played 1 game.
I was gonna say, there's no way that guy came in and
no,
they like lost.
Yeah,
they did lose.
He scored, did he?
No, I do not believe so. But we can touch on some games here. Like I said, I kind of wanted to start with the trades here, and then we'll talk a couple games, and then we'll call it there. Did you guys watch the game last night? We had the Browns versus the Bengals, Monday Night Football.
I watched some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
Game.
Blurry. Yeah, I thought the Bengals were going to win that game, and then they got blown out. So still blurry.
Yeah, I thought the Bengals were going to win too, but it was definitely very, very like bizarre game. There was a time I was watching. I had the Manning broadcast up, like I normally do.
Yeah.
And there's what quarter was that? The third quarter? Yeah, I think it was the third quarter. It was like 26-0. And like Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce were just like talking, and Peyton Manning and Eli were just talking, and they were so bored of that game, where I was getting bored watching them getting bored, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of a really, really, really weird game. I thought their defense looked terrible. And Burrow was chucking the ball, but like not really chucking it. They couldn't run it. I mean, it was just overall kind of rough. On the other side of the ball, though, they ran the ball really well. My boy Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt played well. Brissett did what they brought him in to do, really control the game. Almost had 300 yards and a touchdown.
2 touchdowns. He ran one in.
He did run one in. But really,
what's with this Amari Cooper pick? When did that happen?
Look like he went 0-for-1 with a pick. I don't know. I missed that.
I missed that.
I didn't see that. Nice game, though. 131 yards and a TD.
It's too bad to get those negative points, man.
Yeah.
But it was good, man. So that's kind of been interesting. Browns 3-5 now. Bengals 4-4. Kind of interesting little matchup, but I thought that game was fairly boring watching it yesterday.
The Bengals just look like so lost without Jamar Chase. Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yep.
Burrow. They'll figure it out, I'm sure. But
oh yeah,
they miss him.
Yeah. One other game that I kind of had noted here that I thought was kind of interesting, just because I've been kind of hyping them up all year. New York Giants Went to Seattle. Didn't really get blown out, but didn't play that great. They lost 27-13. I watched like an extended like game recap of that, and it was just like the whole time it was like you could tell like just didn't happen that day. Daniel Jones didn't look too hot, 17 for 31, only 176 yards. They tried running it. See, I'm looking here. Saquon, 53 yards, average 2.6 yards a carry. I mean, that's tough, man. You can't get 3 yards a carry, bro. Like, oof.
Yeah. That's what happens when you. Saquon's like that guy where he runs the ball 25 times and he has 20 carries that are less than 3 yards, but then he has those 5 carries that kind of, are long
for 25 yards.
Yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, he averages like 5-6 a carry, but it's like it's because of the ones that he busted off. Richie James has 2 fumbles. I did not watch this game. I'm assuming those were on like kickoff returns or punt returns.
One was like it was like one of those like football move plays, and it was like kind of like on the fence.
Dropped it.
Yeah, it was like you like kind of like caught it, and like the guy like hit him like, and I don't know. But on the other side of the ball, the Seahawks still playing well. 5-3 now on the year. A lot of people I think a lot of people have been paying attention, but I think really honing in.
Aren't they first in the division? Right?
Oh, it gotta be 5-3.
Yep, they are. Yeah, I think everybody else. I don't think anybody else has 5 wins.
DK Metcalf.
Dog.
Man, if only you could trade him for like a 1-year rental QB.
Hell.
Just joking. If that person watches this and it's like, hey.
I don't think he's in here, but good trade if you are.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Way to go.
We'll just talk about it real quick. Ben traded Jimmy Garoppolo for DK Metcalf and what?
A 3rd round pick.
3rd round.
Is this like
draft.
Is this first offer? Did you offer this or did you?
I had 18 minutes left to accept it, and I was like, "Oh God!" And I just accepted it. Absolutely.
Oh, he offered it.
You were offered it, yeah.
Yeah, I had him on the trade block. I'm assuming we saw him.
You must have offered that a while ago. If you only had 17 minutes, or was it 17 minutes till kickoff?
Probably. It said
No, it was in the morning. You accepted.
It was in the morning, yeah.
Oh, he must have. That trade was probably sitting there for like 5 days in your inbox.
Yeah, and then we just like accepted it and pushed it through like game day right before.
I know. He the other guy, he messaged me. He was like, "Hey man, can you put this through? I'm trying to start him." I'm like, all right. Yeah, man, you're just playing against me, but that's fine, dude.
Like, I got really bad cell. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
It'll be next week, man. All right, so is there any other games specifically you guys wanted to touch on? Those were like the only 2 I really wanted to touch on.
I think Tony Pollard has officially proved himself to be better than Zeke Elliott. And Zeke, I wish he would have been traded, but no one's going to take on Zeke.
Yeah, huge contract.
Is it because he scored 3 touchdowns, or was it because he had 130 yards rushing?
Which 130 on how many carries? 14, dude. Dog.
He was. That's probably why they fucking traded everybody, huh? The Bears,
Dog.
I mean.
Maybe. I don't think so.
They were like, get the fuck out of here, Roquan. You can't even tackle Tony Pollard. Dude, even the homeboy, Malik Davis, man. I was watching him. He was, looking at his stats, it doesn't look that great.
He had one good run. I saw it, bro.
Dude, it was good. It was a good run.
Shot out of a cannon, dude.
I was like, man, who's this guy? Yeah, it was, that game was, I don't know. Obviously, you're a Cowboys fan, it was lit, but like 49, it was great.
Game
actually of guys that I have in my fucking fantasy team. Tony Pollard guy. We'll wait a long time for his ass.
He's here, man.
He's here. Like 34 points last week.
So what happened? I didn't see a ton of this Lions game. It looks like they were ahead most of the game and ended up blowing it. Is that what
Dude,
happened?
I called that shit from like the get go, dude. I
Oh,
literally
they were
said,
up,
Lions.
I
up,
said
like
to Ben,
21-7 or something.
I said we could be up by
Halftime.
35 points. We could score 35 points in the first quarter, and we'd be up 35-0. And I would say, I'm not comfortable,
Yeah.
dude. I never feel like the Lions have it. It could be like literal 0 seconds, and until Dan Campbell's given the post game speech, and even then, I'm like, they might reverse the call somehow. You know, like.
Yeah.
Dude, it's terrible, man. It's terrible. And they were up. They do what they do every single week. They start out hot. They look good. They're running the ball. They're moving it. Everyone's high-fiving. Dan Campbell's hyped. Everyone, you know? And then they just like slowly just start blowing it. They like make dumb calls. They make dumb plays. They turn the ball over. They line up 10 yards off sides. I don't know.
Get a bunch of false starts in a row and end up on like a 2nd and 30. Like
Dude,
or whatever
dude, that was crazy. It was like almost like 2nd and 40. And who was it? It was Penei Sewell. He had 3
like
penalties.
2 in a row, yeah.
Dude, like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are we doing? And it's like you just see it crumbling. And you know what Taylor Decker said? He said something after the game. He was like, dude, I'm like really sick of this shit, bro. He said that to the media. Dude, it's like, man, you can't fucking be that tough, grit. Oh, we just got to do it. We ain't 1-6, boys. Believe. It's like, nah, you are, dog, and you keep losing every week. Every week. And then you scapegoat the one guy in your organization that people thought was, like, good. The Aubrey Pleasant guy, people considered him, like, they say he's going to be, like, a top-tier coach within the next, like, 5 years. You know?
Our defensive backs coach. I feel like our defensive backs have been playing well.
He was our passing game coordinator, too.
And our passing game has been really good.
Opening it up, yeah. I mean, I know we've given up like 700 yards of passing defense a game, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
More to it. I mean,
I think, like, I don't know, dude. It gets me mad, but then at the same time, it's like the Lions, bro. What do you expect? I saw something, you know what the funniest thing about all this? It said, shout out to Hard Knocks, because they can make you believe in anything.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I believed this year. I was all in.
Everybody was, man. Everybody was. But yeah, so they pretty much got off to the hot start and blew it. Typical Lions. Had a couple chances to claw back and blew it.
Had to punt.
Are the Raiders the worst team in the NFL?
No, Lions are.
Lions got it beat, bro.
Raiders are close. I'll give you that. Maybe second pick, but
24-0 against Andy Dalton and the Saints. Well, Kamara and the Saints, I should say.
Yeah, I said something to that. Okay. I said something to Ben on Sunday. I was like, dude, the Raiders like suck.
They do suck.
They got to be the most disappointing team, man. Like they were like trade for Devontae Adams. I mean, the Lions are the Lions, coach, you know.
Josh McDaniels, man, he's a bad coach, right? Am I wrong?
Trash, dude. Fuck that guy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's I think their biggest issue. He's got to be fired, right? It's his first year, though, right?
It's his first year.
We'll give him a year, and he'll get fired.
Old Bullcut's not gonna fire him 1 year. There's no way.
Al Davis?
Yeah, not Al Davis. His name's like what's his name?
What's his name? I thought it was like Al Davis. The Bullcut.
Al Davis is the dead one.
Dad.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nick or Robert or something.
John, I don't remember.
John Davis.
I just remember when him and Gruden were like morphing into each other.
Yeah, they were. They were like slowly becoming one. God, dude. Whatever happened to Gruden? What's he up to these days?
He got in a lot of trouble, bro.
Yeah, he said a lot of bad stuff.
Yeah, but what do you think he's up to?
Hanging out.
Saying bad shit still. Probably
just chilling every day.
He probably like lives like somewhere like warm and like barbecues and wears like flip flops all the time and like.
Dude, that contract he got from the Raiders was like guaranteed $100 billion.
Yeah, $100 billion. I think the number. I
said 100 million is what
I said. I thought you were being like exaggerated.
No, he actually got like $100 million, a 10-year, like $10 million a year.
I doesn't watch
football, like fully guaranteed.
Yeah, I wonder if he watches football like on his downtime.
I'm sure he.
I bet you he is so mad.
He'd be like, "I already coached this fucking team." All right, John. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it. I think that was a good episode, boys. We covered all the big trades for the week. Kind of works out. We record every Tuesday, and happened to be trade deadline day. So, any final thoughts before we close it, guys? Nope.
Not really.
Damian Pierce for Rookie of the Year. I'm winning my South League this year. Gonna be sick. Oh, I drafted him the 3rd round, and everybody laughed at me. I confirmed it that everybody did actually laugh at me.
How did you confirm it? Did you go back and look?
I asked my brother-in-law, and he said, "Yeah," because they were like together. He said, "Yeah, everybody laughed. Fuck them. I'm in first place."
Oh yeah, go Ben,
Fuck.
South League champ.
It's Wilford's Mustache Rides. That's my team name.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
My picture of Wilford Brimley. He's the diabetes guy. If you know.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Or what's his name? Deshaun Watson, comeback player of the year this year.
Comeback player of the year. Okay. I'm gonna my bold claim: Lions Super Bowl champs 2 years from now.
Oh my god.
2.
Quick question: is Jared Goff still the quarterback?
No, he's the coach.
Quarterback
no.
coach.
He's the offense coordinator, Kellen Moore style.
Dude, that'd be wild.
He seems like he's got like a good coach in mind, right?
I don't know.
He's got
Maybe like a Pee Wee football team.
You gotta make good decisions for that.
That's
I think,
fucked.
I don't want him teaching anybody how to throw the ball. He's got like a noodle arm.
Okay.
You have a balloon in the back of your screen?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Congratulations, balloons.
Congrats.
Thanks.
He's never mind. I was gonna make a joke, but anyways, everybody have a good night. We'll see you next Tuesday.